November 24th, 1971. A quiet flight becomes a national emergency when a man in a business suit claims to have a bomb and calmly demands $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a flight into darkness. Hours later, he leaps into a freezing storm and vanishes. He is the only hijacker to ever get away. Was D.B. Cooper's escape a perfect crime, or did he vanish forever into the wilderness? Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 at Portland International Airport just before takeoff. He chose seat 18C near the rear, blending in with dark sunglasses and a business suit. After ordering a bourbon and soda, he waited until the plane was in the air. Then, without a hint of panic, he handed a folded note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. At first, she slipped it into her pocket, thinking it was just another phone number. Cooper leaned in and spoke quietly. "Miss, I have a bomb." He opened his briefcase just enough to show a tangle of wires and red cylinders. Schaffner later described his voice as calm and his manner polite, never raising it, never seeming nervous. The note spelled out his demands in clear handwriting. There was no shouting, no threats to the other passengers, just a man in sunglasses, quietly rewriting the rules at 30,000 feet. Donald Nyrup, president of Northwest Orient, gave the green light. The FBI scrambled to assemble $200,000 in worn $20 bills, each serial number painstakingly recorded. The cash was packed into a knapsack weighing nearly 20 pounds. 4 parachutes arrived, 2 for the front, 2 for the back, delivered from a local skydiving school, just as Cooper specified. On the tarmac at SeaTac, the plane sat for nearly 2 hours while the demands were met. Tension ran high in the cockpit and in FBI command posts, but Cooper never raised his voice. Flight attendant Tina Mucklow became the go-between, shuttling the ransom and parachutes through the rear stairway. Once the money was counted and the chutes inspected, Cooper allowed all 36 passengers to leave the plane unharmed. Only the crew remained. With the cabin now nearly empty and the ransom on board, the aircraft was cleared for takeoff. The next destination was Reno, Nevada. At 8 p.m., a warning light flickered in the cockpit. The aft stairway, a feature unique to the Boeing 727, had been lowered mid-flight, something only a handful of pilots and engineers even knew was possible. The crew stayed locked in the cockpit, listening to the roar of wind and rain outside the fuselage. Behind them, somewhere in the darkened cabin, Cooper tied the ransom money to his body, clipped a parachute over his suit, and faced the open stairway. The plane held steady at 10,000 feet, flying just under 200 knots as ordered. Outside, temperatures hovered near freezing. Rain lashed the tail, and the ground below was a black expanse of forest and rivers. No searchlights, no city glow, just pure darkness. Boeing's own tests later confirmed the air stair could be lowered in flight, but the risk was enormous. A slip meant a 10,000-foot fall into the unknown. Cooper stepped into the night, vanishing into the storm and into legend. The cabin was silent, the hum of the engines and the steady drum of rain against the fuselage the only sounds. After the jump, the crew waited for any sign of movement. None came. When the plane finally touched down in Reno, authorities swept in, expecting a confrontation. Instead, they found seat 18C empty, a bourbon glass on the tray, and a single black clip-on tie draped over the seat back. The tie cost less than $2, but it was the only physical clue Cooper left behind. No footprints, no parachute, no ransom money, just the faint trace of cologne and a tie that would sit in evidence for decades. The flight engineer's log noted the sudden drop in cabin pressure and the warning light for the aft stairs, but little else. Outside, the search began in earnest. Floodlights scoured the tarmac. FBI agents fanned out, but the man who called himself Dan Cooper had vanished into the storm. 8 years after the hijacking, a boy named Brian Ingram knelt in the sand along the Columbia River near a spot called Tina Bar. He dug into the riverbank and uncovered 3 bundles of decaying $20 bills, still held together by brittle rubber bands. The total was $5,800. FBI technicians matched the serial numbers to the ransom delivered to Cooper in 1971, proof that at least some of the money made it out of the plane. The bills had been buried, waterlogged, and scattered by the river's changing course. No footprints, no parachute, just this silent evidence. The riverbank discovery confirmed the jump, but it left every other question wide open. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case, but the legend only grew. Each year, hundreds gather at CooperCon in Washington, trading theories and raising a glass to the man who vanished. Books, movies, and podcasts keep the mystery alive, fueling endless debate about what really happened that night. 50 years on, not a single bill from the ransom has surfaced in circulation. The mystery endures, reminding us how one unanswered question can outlast 1,000 investigations. What's your theory?